clothes with a sort of cat litter vibe, slash slept in an oil slick. I'm trying to figure out why anybody would want anything to do with this company, because it feels like they're giving you the middle finger the whole time. Like, oh, you just paid $5,000 for this rag of a shirt? How hilarious. How hilarious that you bought into this whole subversive thing. But if it was just junky clothes, tatty, trash, okay. But it's more than that. Let's talk about Kim Kardashian for a second, shall we? Okay. I have a real bone to pick with Kim. And I know we all do. And it's over her continual support of Balenciaga. Recently, over the weekend, she was seen at the Balenciaga fashion show. Of course, looking subversive with the hair clips left in her hair. And the panty lines all over the place. Because, of course, Balenciaga's whole thing is, how trashy can we make it look? How subversive and gross can we be? Let's make a wallet that looks like a trash bag. Let's make clothes with a sort of cat litter vibe, slash slept in an oil slick. I'm trying to figure out why anybody would want anything to do with this company, because it feels like they're giving you the middle finger the whole time. Like, oh, you just paid $5,000 for this rag of a shirt? How hilarious. How hilarious that you bought into this whole subversive thing. But if it was just junky clothes, tatty, trash, okay. But it's more than that. And I know all of you remember a couple of years ago when they got into big trouble because they had a whole ad campaign. And in the ad campaign, they've got little children holding these stuffed animals that are in bondage gear. In the same photo shoot, there was purses and stuff on display on this table, and it looked kind of like a work desk, and there was all these papers spread everywhere. The papers were actually pages from a lawsuit in which somebody was getting off for having had a child, and it was just like, are you guys celebrating hurting kids? I mean, you couldn't have accidentally put a bunch of pages from a lawsuit about hurting kids, just by like, oopsies. Because this is a global ad campaign that's going to go out across the world. You don't think anybody's going to pay attention to the fact that there's a kid standing over there holding a bear with bondage gear, and then over on the table we have pages from a lawsuit celebrating hurting kids? I mean, like, I'm sorry. How dumb do you think we are? I guess that I think is the theme today. How dumb do you think we are? We're not stupid. And it isn't a conspiracy. Like, this Balenciaga business, this company has deep ties. The designers, the art directors, they celebrate degeneracy openly in their private lives. And when Kim Kardashian, who has been linked to them for ages, was called out in conjunction with this ad campaign, like, hey, Kim, we know you're a big mouthpiece for them. Maybe you should cut it. Maybe, since you always want to tell us that you love God and you guys read your Bibles every day, and Bible, I'm telling the truth, all of you are like, I read the Bible every day and love Jesus. Bullshit. Okay? Because I'm struggling to understand why you would want to have anything to do with a design label that celebrates degeneracy so publicly. I don't care about their junky little chip bag wallet, okay? If they want to all look like they got their clothes from the nearest dump, whatever. Okay? But you start talking about hurting kids, and you start talking about hurting kids, and all of the designers and art directors and everything that has to do with this label are all consumed with satanic, nasty junk in their personal lives, posting about it all over the place. We got problems. But Kim just keeps on trucking, She didn't even come out and say anything. Never once when that campaign, like, people were screaming from the rooftops, Balenciaga needs to go. Kim, when are you going to come out and say that? You've got tons of kids of your own, Kim. Aren't you a little bit worried about associating yourself with a brand that so openly finds children to be the playthings of the degenerates? Wouldn't you just be like, okay, hey, like, maybe she didn't know. Please. She spends time with these people on the side, but whatever. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Kim just had no idea. Maybe Kim really was just so busy getting her next BBL that she had no idea that these degenerates who are running this design house are just a bunch of nasty perverts, okay? But once you do know, considering the fact that you got only, 11 kids, what if you then said, I'm not working with you anymore. I'm not working with you because if you guys are okay with that, then I guess we have different objectives in life. But this is the same person, Kim Kardashian, who has consistently left her poor child North stranded on the side of the road. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen of her forgetting North upstairs in the hotel room or getting in a car and North is standing on the sidewalk, like Kim's like, see you later, North. Mom's got to go to this fashion thing and, North is just supposed to catch the next car. It's like, this isn't somebody who is really, I feel like, looking at her role as a mother as, I don't know, the most important thing. I do think she thinks it's important, but I also think in the event of say a fashion show, oh, is North not in the car? Oh, I guess I better go back in and get her. Where did you think North was? It's just anyway, she was seen at this Balenciaga show and there she is with her hair clips and her panty lines. But what's even just, it's just so embarrassing. She was seen walking around with her phone, and on her phone is a picture of her from the previous day that she'd been there, and she's in a similar outfit except bright pink. She's literally Googling herself and looking at pictures of herself from a previous day as she walks into the next show. How self-consumed can you be that you are checking out your pictures from a previous day? Is that really all your life revolves around you and how does your ass look in the latest dress? I mean, I just can't even believe. And she's got her, we could all see what she was looking at. Was that intentional? Was she trying to remind us how good she looked that day? So I look good today, but also don't forget about yesterday. I don't know. But you guys, this is a family. Cassie sent this to me. You know Cassie, my twin sister. She sent this to me the other day and she's like, remember where these people started? Okay. You guys, the entire storyline of this first episode was look at Kim's fat ass.
I am starving.
Don't you have a photo shoot tomorrow? Stop eating.
I think she has a little junk in the trunk.
She's got the jiggles.
One, she's always had an ass. Where did this come from?
Well, a little cardio.
Talking about me. That is so, catty of you.
What are you talking about?
She said you have a lot of junk in your trunk.
I meant outside in your car. There's some stuff in your car we need to get out.
I hate you all.
Welcome to my family.
Kim Kardashian became famous, as we all know, from a sex tape that she did, which featured the big ass. And now her pimp of a mother is starting a show based off of her daughter's giant bubble butt. Can you imagine how in the world could that mother look at herself in the mirror the next day and be like, I am just a paragon of maternal goodness? The dynamics of the family in this video is so twisted. All of them calling her fat, joking about her jiggling ass, but also knowing that she became famous because of that jiggly ass being exposed in a sex tape that her mom then put out there for public consumption so the family could all get rich off that fat ass. Why are we still allowing these people? And honestly, why am I surprised that Kim is over here supporting Balenciaga? Her own mom was out there trafficking her as a child. Not that she was a child when she was in that video. But she was young and ignorant and stupid, obviously. Of course Kim has no moral boundaries. Of course Kim doesn't know. You guys, do you remember, this was back in 2013, there was an article that came out of Robert Kardashian's diaries. And in those diaries, he wrote about how Kris regularly abused the kids, screaming at them and carrying on. And the person she beat on the most was Kim Kardashian. And then Kim is the one whose career has skyrocketed all because her mom decided to put out that nasty sex tape and the whole family got rich off of it. Kris is a person with deep problems, as I'm realizing from reading that one book. And I guess I shouldn't blame Kim so much for still having ties to Balenciaga because I don't really know who raised her. Was it a human or was it a demon? Because I'm confused as to what kind of a mother would do all the things that Kris has done to Kim all these years. So if Kim lacks maternal instincts to protect her kids and continues to associate with Balenciaga, I don't know. Look at the mother she had. Does Kim even have a chance of knowing how to be a mom? Okay. But be that as it may, how old is Kim? In her 40s now. At no point is she ever going to be like, okay, I don't have to be like my mom. I could protect my kids and not associate myself with this nasty ass brand.